Hey guys, it's Her Coffee. So today I'm going to be doing the long-awaited Resident Evil remake review. So, yeah. I just finished several ways and it was fun. It was a lot harder than I thought it would be because I mean, uh, Ada is so much smaller than Leon is for that. Anyway, I'll get that later in the video. But first off, before we do the full review, I wanted to walk us through a short little part. It's spoiler free for anyone who hasn't watched or played it. Because it did come out last year, I believe. Yeah, it came out in 2020. So it came out last year, but I understand that, like, you know, it's still pretty new, so there's a chance that most people haven't bought it. But there's a sale, I think, that was going on recently. I don't know if it's still going on. So if it is, then I think that's really good. The sale is like, I think it's $40 for like the Resident Evil and the DLC and stuff like that. It's pretty good. So, anyway, but first off, let's go over our spoiler-free review. So, Resident Evil was really fun. It was super exciting. I love the dialogue, super fun, super great. They improved on a lot of the characters from the original. There were some characters that weren't that great, honestly, in my opinion, and they improved them really well. It built up on a lot of characters as well. There's also a lot of things that are just not in the original Resident Evil 4, and there are some things that are the same. And yeah. This game was really awesome. So much fun. It has a lot of replay value. There's a lot of achievements to get. There is like this thing where you get like certain little coins and then you can spend it on costumes and stuff like that. There is a mode called I might be wrong. Anyway, but yeah, there's like a mode where you can play some characters and just fight, and it's super fun. Well, I haven't played it yet, but I've heard it's super fun. So, anyway, but yeah, I've seen people play it, and it looks super fun. So, yeah, that's pretty much my spoiler free. You should really go buy it, and you'll definitely, if you love the original, or even just that you love Resident Evil and like the story of the original, you will love the remake. It is so good. Even if you've never played the original, honestly, play the remake. It's super fun. It is a little bit hard if you're not good at video games. So if you're not good at video games, I'd say probably play on the easy mode. Like me, I'm gonna play on all of the modes because I'm fucking crazy, but I'm not the best at video games, so I ended up dying a lot. Well, not that much when I played easy, but I recently been playing it on normal mode, and I've died a couple times, and it's just really hard on easy for a new player. But I've heard some like more experienced players say that it's not that hard, and if you do feel that, there is some mods you can get if you have PC. If you have a PC, there's some mods you can get to make it harder. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's my spoiler free. You should definitely really go buy it. It's so much fun. So yeah. Okay, so now it's time for the spoiler section. If you have not like watched already that, please leave now. Or if you don't really care about spoilers, then just keep watching. But I'm gonna give you a couple minutes to go. I think that's enough time, but if not, I'm sorry. So, anyway, let's get into our spoiler section. So first off, chapter 1, it starts off, pretty similar to the original. It's a little bit different. You're in like the same car ride. Leon's looking depressed. And he goes over everything that happened in Resident Evil 2, but in the original, he talked about it from like, he talked more about Umbrella than like what happened to him. So I did like that he talked more about like what he experienced, and he's like, yeah, I feel so bad, like I miss Marvin, stuff like that. He talked about Marvin, he talked about losing Ada, he thinks he's losing, you know, and just all the stuff that happened, and how there's so many people that died, and he wished he could have saved them, and how he says to himself, this will never happen again. I will save everyone. Which is kind of foreshadowing of what will happen. Anyway, and then a cop gets out to go pee, which everyone knows is such a stupid decision. uh, After a little bit, Leo's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go check on him. He gets out, he goes, and the cop's like, yeah, I'll just wait here. And he's like, whatever. Anyway, he goes, he finds this little house, and we end up finding, the other cop's badge thing. So it has blood on it, so we're like, okay, yeah, that guy definitely died. Which you can find when you go to the village, you can actually see him hanging up on a like post thing, being burnt, and then later in, I don't know if it's the same cop, probably not, but then later in a couple chapters, you'll see him on a boat get dumped out. Anyway, so basically, we go to their house. There's this guy. We talk to him. He he's been infected, and he like loves to kill us. He tries to attack us. We attack him, and then I think you kill him. Yeah, you kill him, and then sorry, sorry about my allergies. And then after that, we go downstairs. We find this like board thing saying like the Ashley's definitely here, and so we're like, okay, cool. After the house, after we get out, some people come in, and then we were going down the road, and there's like this little bridge. We go over the bridge, and there's this little village. The village fight, ooh, it is so good. It is like pretty similar to, like, exactly similar to the original. It is so good. And Leon says his famous bingo line, where's everyone going? Bingo. Which is great after the bell rings. Which I love it. And it just feels, it's so intense too. It still has that same feeling where it's so intense, and if you're beginning, if you've never played before, you never know when it's gonna end. You're like, oh my god, people keep coming and coming, and then finally ends. You're like, God, it's such a weird feeling where you're fighting. All of a sudden, bell rings, and it's boom, they're walking, and it's like, it's such a punch. Like, it's so good. It's such a good intro. This all happens in chapter 1. But it's super good. The fucking chainsaw guys. Chainsaw guys are back, and fuck, I got killed so many times from these fucking chainsaw guys. Like I said, I'm not a good player, so I died a lot. But in the normal mode, I've been not doing as well, but in assisted, I didn't die that much. It was just really hard and took a lot of damage and stuff like that. So, but anyway, we go through the village fight, and after the village fight, like I said, the bell rings, and then he says his bingo line, and then you can go and collect a bunch of collectibles, which I did, and then you go up like this hill, and then there's this gate, and like the original, you go into this farm. The farm is pretty much the same as well. Uh, it's just you can't really go into as many buildings as like the farm in the original. So like the original, well actually kind of, cause okay, so in the remake at first you can't go into like the little house at the farm, but in the original you were able to fully go through it. Um, Also in the remake there's like this oh my god, what's it called? Windmill is so much bigger in the remake than the original, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, it's pretty similar. You know, you have your fights as well in that one too. This time there's these new enemies. I don't think we're in the original. And they're these like pig human things. Man, those guys, they are tough. Um in the very beginning they have hammers and ooh, they can knock you out. They're tough. Also here you get your first requesting. There's like these requests and you have to shoot these little blue medallions. So yeah, it's your first one. So yeah, you know, you just go through and then after, yeah, after you have the farm. After you have the farm, there's this large bridge, and there's a house that's locked, and then there's also a wheelbarrow that you can like move out of the way, and then there's also another road that just kind of like leads to a dead end. I'm pretty sure if I remember right. So, but anyway. Anyway, you move the wheelbarrow out of the way, and then, you know, more enemies come after you, and you shoot them all down. And then you get into this another little area that's, connected to the village, but it's like a bunch of houses, a lake. Go through there, you're shooting with some more people. There's also some more stuff you can collect. And there's this one house, which this house is very interesting. It's like, it's towards the water, but it's like kind of by itself. It's a fishing house. You go into it, and there's this photo of this little kid and his dad, which we'll find out more about that later. Anyway, so we go down, we look around, and then we find this guy trying to take off some boards to looks like a basement or whatever, like a hatch to a basement. Anyway, you shoot him or kill him. Then you go down to this like basement. You see a bag that's moving, and you can open it up, and it's Lewis, which Lewis is from the original, which I think it was different how you met him. I don't. Oh my god, I don't remember how you met Lewis. Uh, I don't know. Actually, I think how you met him in the original is I think he just woke up. Was it? No, no, I remember now. He was in a closet. That's what it was. Yes, he was in a closet. You went to this house. He was in a closet. You open up. There he was, and then Mr. Cheese comes in. So anyway, but the remake. You open the bag. You know, they have a little dialogue where it's like, "Hey, that hurt." Well, it looks like you really wanted to talk. Uh, and then Mr. Cheese comes and he's like, "Oh no, not again!" And he's like, "What?" He looks around. It's this big guy. They call him Mr. Cheese in the original. His name is Mendez. So anyway, so sorry if I go from calling him Mr. Cheese and a Mendez, but anyway, so in the remake, I don't think anyone called him Mr. Cheese, but in the original they did for some reason. I don't exactly know why, but yeah. And then there's even a achievement called Big Cheese or something like that. Anyway, it's like something around those lines. Anyway, so after we, uh, you know, get taken down, and we at this point we're also injected with the virus too, and that's then after that it's like next chapter. One of my favorite scenes of this whole game is in chapter 2, the very beginning. You wake up and you're chained to Lewis or Louise. I don't know if I say this right. Anyway, you're chained up to him, and you find out that all of your gear is gone, and you have a little interact with Lewis where it's like, um, he's just like talking, and you're not really saying anything, and all of a sudden he says, let me guess, you're here to find a missing senorita, and he's like, a girl? Do you know her? Like, and um, he pulls him, and it's so funny. It's so great. I love the chemistry that they have. It's so amazing. Um, and he's like, yeah, I saw them put her in a church, and he's like, okay. And then this like zombie person comes in, or one of the people infected comes in and tries to kill him. They they kill him with the chain that they're tied to. And then a key drops. Lewis grabs the key, unlocks himself, and is like, well, see ya, and throws it, which I love that. It's so cheeky, and it's so great. And then man's like, fuck you. Well, he doesn't say fuck you, but he's like, he's like, come back here, I'm not done with you. And he leaves and grabs the key, unlocks himself. And then you're in this abandoned factory now, so you have to go find your gear, which you don't find it pretty easy. It's just in this little locked room, just sitting there on a table, which you see through a wall that's broken down, kind of. Anyway, you go through this little factory, and one of the second requests is you have to kill some rats, which I didn't know until I was watching the guy who plays and voice acts Lord Leon. He does voice acting, and he did the motion capture for Leon. Is that when he was playing the game, he played the first chapters with the guy who plays Luis and the girl who plays Ashley. And the girl who plays Ashley was actually in all of his streams, I'm pretty sure, of him playing it. Anyway, but she loves rats, and I think it's so funny, and everyone now is like, okay, Ashley will probably love rats too, so, yeah, I think it's, anyway. But, Leon kills some rats, and, also, there's another, sorry, keep getting off track, there's another thing that comes up in this little chapter area, that's in the separate thing. Anyway, so, you get your gear, and then outside is the merchant, which basically the merchant is this guy who he sets up these tables, and he has these little lanterns that are purple, I think. Yeah, they're purple. Anyway, they make these lanterns like make it so like no one can come and hurt you or whatever. I've seen a couple of videos on like theories about these lanterns. Because Ashley, later chapters, she has one too, but hers is blue. Anyway, so basically, this guy, he'll sell you stuff, and you can buy stuff from him, you can sell stuff to him, stuff like that. You can also upgrade your gear too. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, he's pretty cool. Oh yeah, also you get these little gems, these little pink gems, and you can get stuff from him for special stuff. So yeah. Anyway, you get your gear, and then you can buy trade whatever from him. Afterwards, you have to go get a piece to like open this gate, which you do that by going down the road and killing a bunch of people. And it's kind of like the village fight, but like even more intense. And you have to keep doing it until there's no one left, and then you get to the spot. It's at the very end where you can get the piece, and then you have to go back, and you have to open the gate again because it ends up closing behind you. And then you go and put the piece in, and a crank thing comes out of it. So then you crank it up. After the valley is what it's called, where you like kill all the villagers and stuff like that, to get into this little area that has like a gate. You have to kill a couple more villagers, and you have to kill another chainsaw guy. After that, you find Mendez's house. He's the chief. Find like the chief's house. You go in it, and it's a pretty big house. And there's like a puzzle you have to solve, and you can go upstairs after you solve the puzzle, and you have to get a key that's in a drawer, but you get knocked out from, well, not knocked out, but Mr. Cheese comes in, or Mendez comes in, and he strangles you. But while he's strangling you, Ada sees it, because Ada's awesome. And you don't know this, but you don't see her. I don't know. I feel like Leon would see her. Anyway, somehow he doesn't see her, and she cracks the window because she shoots it, and she shoots Mendez, which he drops you, and you're like, because you were getting choked. Then she leaves before you see anything, and Mendez looks at you and he's like, huh, you have our blood, and stuff like that. He says something about Geff, and you have our blood. And then Leon's confused. He's like, okay, weird. So then he leaves the room, and you... Yeah. I was like, I think we get chased by him. I was like, actually, no. I remember, that's when you come back. Anyway. Basically, that's the end of this chapter. And so, I have to first say, chapter 1, I really loved it. Chapter 2, I loved as well, but I don't think I loved it as much. So, anyway, chapter 3, the lake. You saw my review of the chapter. You know I did not like the lake. And it's nothing wrong with the lake. That's what it's called, for the lake. I just really, really hate water. It sounds so fucking stupid, but I hate water so fucking much, and the fishing scared me so bad. I was so fucking terrified of it. I was like, this fucker, and I just don't like it. I don't know why. It creeps me out so much, because I know it's just a game, but I'm like, man, if this was me, I would fucking die. Like, I'd be gone. It's terrifying. So, I don't know, something about that chapter in that lake, I don't like it. It freaks me out. Nothing wrong with the chapter. It's a really good chapter. I did miss a lot in this chapter though. So, there is a lot of stuff you have to do in this chapter to get everything. Like, there's a lot of requests in this chapter, and I missed a lot of it. I'm playing it through it back now, and I'm gonna, like, get all the stuff I missed. But there's so fucking much stuff. Because so basically, in the lake, you go back to the lake area, and you have to go to this boat, and there is a key you have to get. Well, you have to beat this monster first. Also, you know how in chapter 1 I said there was something interesting with the lake? Well, in this chapter, you can actually see two villagers dumping a cop. I'm not too sure which cop it is, but it's one of the cops. So I don't think it's the cop from the fire, but I mean, just, my mind is like, well, he'd probably be burned. This guy doesn't look burned. So it's probably the other cop. So yeah. And in the original, so the lake scene was there in the original, but also in the original, what they first say, so in chapter 1, you were able to go back and look and see that the cop, the vehicle crashed and stuff like that. So I don't know if you can do that in this one. I didn't do it. So yeah. Anyway, but also with the original for the lake, one thing that I kind of like that they didn't do, which I get it, is in the lake scene when you're fighting the monster, there are some times where Leon will accidentally fall out of his boat, and then he has to swim back to his boat, which I thought it was so fucking funny because the way he looked was so fucking stupid when he's trying to swim back to the boat and the monster's behind him, and it was so fucking stupid, and I loved it. And yeah, I get why they didn't do it, but it's just funny anyway. So yeah, so basically this whole chapter is where you have to beat this lake monster that feeds off of his also after you're done killing this lake monster, you can go in the boat and there's little islands you can go to and there's little caves you can go to. There's a lot of stuff you can collect from this. And yeah, I missed a lot when I first did it. Because when I first played through it, I was trying to get everything, but I was also trying to enjoy the story too. So, yeah. But anyway, so there's just a lot of requests. So yeah. Also, another thing that's fun about this chapter is that when you go, okay, so if there's like this boathouse that you go to, and there's a merchant. The merchant, he has little like shooting range set up. Fuck, it's so much fun. I love his shooting range. It's so much fun. It's kind of hard though, but I love it. And I love how I did it. So when I first did it, I didn't fucking read the directions. I was just like, oh yeah, I don't need to read the directions. And there's these little guys that pop up, and if you shoot them, you get like negative points. I thought you were supposed to shoot them. There's other guys you're supposed to shoot too. So I was just shooting everyone. And it wasn't until like I I think second or third time I was doing the shooting range that I realized I was getting negative points. And I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to shoot those guys. Because how I noticed it was I was looking around the shooting range and I saw a poster saying like, you know, if you shoot these guys, get negative points. But if you shoot these guys, get this much points. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So yeah. So pay attention to the directions, because I didn't. So, or just fucking read. Because I didn't. It's like these little sailors. They're blue, I think. I keep saying this one. Anyway. So... So after the water and after killing the guy, you passed out and you wake back up and you found out that you were passed out for 3 hours. Hunnigan calls you. Oh yeah, I was trying to say, forgot to mention Hunnigan. This whole time you're in contact with this girl named Hunnigan. We don't know her actual name. That's just what we call her. But she's like, so Leon's like a field agent, and she is like the researcher. Like she's back home, and she like looks up like, she does background searches on people. We have to do a background check on a week. I can say it's again. Anyway, we Sarah. And then also. She also can look up maps and stuff like that and send it to us. Yeah, she does a bunch of stuff. Anyway, so she calls us and she's like, oh yeah, also, she's also, just there. So if we need anything, anyway, so she calls them and she's like, Leon, what's going on? I haven't been able to contact you for 3 hours. It's like, oh shit, I passed out. He's like, I don't know why, but he finds out that he's infected, and that's why. But anyway, he's like, yeah, I gotta get to the church. She's like, yeah. He's like, I have the key now though, and so he goes to the church. So, chapter 4, we are going to the church, which that's where we meet Ashley. And oh my god, I have so many opinions on the name Ashley. They're good. They're good opinions. Anyway, so, Leon gets out of the boat. We'll go to the shore, gets out of the boat. Then you basically just go backwards. You, go back to the church. You can, I think most of the collectibles, if you're doing it right, most of the collectibles you already collected by the church. There's a couple of collectibles that you can collect at the church now, like some inside, stuff like that. But anyway, so, you go back to the church. Oh, also, I mentioned it in the 3rd chapter, but I think it's actually the 4th chapter where you can go to the caves and stuff like that. So, yeah. Anyway, but you go to the church, and that's where you have to do a puzzle, and then go upstairs, and you go to this room, and that's where you meet Ashley. First time you meet her, she's hiding, and she has she's holding like a candle thing, and she throws it at you, and then you're like, oh, like, great. I don't remember exactly what he says, but he's like, man, this is great, or whatever. And or he's like, oh man, that went well. So. Oh, also one thing I forgot to mention, before you go and get Ashley, there's a boss fight you have to do. With this rock guy. And back in chapter 2, where you went to the chief's house, you were able to, you could save this dog. And if you save this dog, which I think most people do, the dog actually comes and battles for you and helps you out, which is really cool. But, after you get Ashley, a bunch of villagers swarm the church, and you have to make your way out. You go out through a window. You tell Ashley to jump, and then you'll catch her, which you do. And then, well, and then I think it's like the next chapter. So basically, it's the next chapter, chapter 6. And you have to basically you have to go back, backtrack. You have to go to this, meetup point. But this is when you can go back to the village, the one you first started, the first one you first went to when you had the village fight. You can go back to that one and there's some collectibles you can get with Ashley now, because you can like pick up Ashley and then she'll like get in through a window or whatever and then unlock the door or anything like that. And that happens a lot later on. One thing I do love about Ashley though is the more the game goes on, the more helpful she seems, and the more that she learns, and she's just a lot smarter. If you played the original, you know how awful Ashley was. She was super annoying because the only thing she would yell is, Leon! Leon! That's literally all she would yell. And she would get hit all the time. Like, one hit, she was dead. And you're like, fuck, I have to do all this over, you know? Or she would get picked up really easily, and then you'd have a couple minutes to shoot the person or kill them or whatever. And then, so to drop Ashley back. It was super easily for Ashley to actually die. And I remember I was specific because I've been playing through the original. Um, I've actually like stabbed Ashley and yeah, all this stuff. But the new Ashley, I love her. She has so much more of a personality, and she actually helps than make it harder. And it honestly just feels like she's just like a team member. Like she's still pretty weak, of course. She's just a young girl, but she's not like as weak. She dodges, she it she can take more than one hit if I remember right. But yeah, anyway, so you have to go back through the village, and then after you go back to the village, you have to go to this cabin, which, ooh, the cabin fight is so hard. It is hard. It's this tiny little cabin. There's villagers coming from everywhere. This is also where Luis comes back. Um, and he helps you actually hide. Um, anyway, but basically you and Elise, you shoot, um, basically shooting everyone. And towards the end of the fight, another one of those pig things comes in, and you have to kill him. But once you kill him, it's over. Ashley comes out, and I don't know how to do this, but when I first played through this village fight, this cabin fight, I killed a big guy, and he dropped something. And I wanted to collect it, but it didn't let me. I don't know if I can't collect it or whatever, or I don't know how to go back. But yeah. But anyway, it's it's kind of hard. But there's tips online that I've heard that if you like stay by the stairs because they're kind of slow, you it should be fine. But I've always had a hard time with the village fight. Anyway, Luis does really help you though in the village fight. I mean, in the original he was just as helpful too. So yeah, he's just pretty much the same, just as helpful. So it wasn't like Ashley where like he was not helpful at all. Luis, in the original and remake are both really helpful. In this remake, the remake though, they have more dialogue, which I love. Leon's still kind of old like that to him because he found out that Elise was a scientist that used to work with Umbrella, and Resident Evil, he doesn't like Umbrella, so he's still very cautious around him, like not trusting him. But Elise in his charm, he just talking Leon up. So yeah, and then it's the next chapter 6, I think. Yeah, because that was chapter 5. Yeah, no, this is chapter. I think I might have actually put that one chapter 6. I don't know, but anyway, chapter 6. This one is where you find out that you and Asher are both infected, and so is Elise. He says that he can get you as medicine, but it'll be a little bit. So, yeah. The medicine he can get you right now though is not a forever thing. It's like it'll stop you from getting. It'll stop like he explains it as like it'll cure you for a little bit, but the symptoms will come back, and it's not like a forever thing. There is a forever thing to get like cured of it, but that you'll have to experience. You have to get like by yourself later on in the game. It's like towards the end of the game. So, but anyway, he says he can get you a little thing to ward off the side effects, to ward off the like growth of the infection. So yeah. So basically, he goes, and then you and Ashley, you guys, you find out that the airplane that was gonna come and get you guys, crashed. So now you have to go like take shelter in the castle. So you're basically making your way to the castle. You have a bunch of villains you have to fight, and yeah, you just go through, fight a bunch of villains. There's also a bunch of more treasures you can get in this like kind of area. Um, You also, uh, while you're in this little like smaller village area, uh, there's this house that you can go in, and when you go into the house, there's these chainsaw sisters that come, and you have to like kill them, which they're pretty tough. When I played it, I think I died once to them when I first played it. And I was on easy mode, so yeah, they're tough, but they're really strong. And then another pig person, they have a name, I just can't remember it. But and then after you do that, after you do that, you can make your way towards uh back towards the village, I believe. Oh wait, no, okay, I remember now. Okay, yeah, no. You make your way back towards the castle, and you go through this gate. Then Mr. Mendez shows up again, and you have this whole thing where he's like chasing you guys. He's being really slow about it. He's pretty much walking, and you have to like run. You can't let him get to Ashley though. So you basically just have to run to Ashley. Um, you get to this little abandoned house, and then you have to fight a Mendez. And boy, so in the remake and in the original, he is scary as fuck. But in the original, it looks so much more scary. Like the remake, the original looks scary, but the remake it just looks so much more scary because it's so like, the remake has better textures and just better like graphics. So like, it just you can see it a lot more, and it's oh god, he is so freaky to look at. Anyway, you have to kill him. After you kill him, the house is on fire, and Ashley breaks the window. You get out of the window, and then you're on your way to the castle. So I really like Mendez fight. In the original, it was really hard. I died so many times. In the remake, I died a couple times. But, so I struggled with the fight, but I think it's a really good fight. So, anyway, basically, then you get to the castle, you get to the gates, and you have to basically run, and because there's people after you, and then you close the gates, and then yeah, then that's the end of chapter 6. Then it's chapter 7. Chapter 7. Sorry guys. Chapter 7 is all about the castle. In chapter 7, you get to the castle, and there's a bunch of puzzles, and a bunch of more people that you have to fight, but it's really fun. It's really hard too. One of the first battles is you have to kill a bunch of people, and then get a hold of this. Let's say rocket launcher. It's not rocket. It's a cannon, and you have to shoot the doors and shoot the people. But after you shoot the people, you shoot the doors. And after you shoot the doors, you get to the throne room. In the throne room, you have this little old guy. Oh yeah. So you have this little guy. Or I thought it was throne room. I guess it's the courthouse or courtyard. But you you meet this little guy named Salazar, and he is so he is so funny. I love him. I loved the original too. In the original, they did take out a lot of his little quirks. Like one thing that was really funny is Leon would FaceTime, yeah, all the bad guys, which I thought was funny. Um, in the remake, he doesn't do that, but in the remake, they kept his. So, in the original, Salazar had a bunch of like weird rooms in his castle, and one of the things he had was a roller coaster. Well, they got rid of a lot of the weird rooms, but they did keep his roller coaster, which is so funny. Uh, one thing that kind of sucks. Oh, and this is like I guess it's a good thing, but they got rid of So I guess Leon, he gets like car sick or whatever, like motion sickness, and in the um roller coaster when him and Ashley get on it, he gets really sick, and in the original they have like a sound of him throwing up. They removed it for the remake, which I understand. It's probably disgusting to hear someone throw up. But it's kind of funny because Ashley's like, do you get motion sickness? He's like, well, you'll find out, and then it's just throwing up noises like to a black screen. But in the remake, it's just like, oh, do you get motion sickness? And he's like, yeah, and he's like, you'll find out, and then that's it. But anyway, that's later on. So you have to make your way through this castle, and through that castle, there's just more enemies and more trophies. I really like the castle. I had a lot of fun with it. There was kind of some hard parts where I either didn't really understand the puzzle and how to do it. Like, one of them was in a later chapter. You have this like, oh my god, what's it called? Like a dining room area. That puzzle I had a hard time figuring out what to do for that one. But anyway, so basically, one of the things is you have to go down to this little like dungeon area, and you have to beat this guy. As you're doing this, Ashley stays where she's at. She doesn't like follow you or anything. But after you kill this guy who's like blind and stuff like that, you can bring her down, and she's like, "Oh, is this what?" Because she thought there was like a pet down there or whatever. And Leon's like, you can't keep them, and she's like, yeah, that's totally what I was gonna ask. It's so okay. Hello guys, sorry, I had to take a little break. Anyway, I'm back. So, chapter 7, I don't remember exactly what I was talking about last time, but, basically, you're going through the castle, and then, there is this, like, room with a fountain. There's, like, a couple of fountains and stuff like that you go through. And that area, it's not too bad. Well, on easy, I was playing easy mode, and it wasn't too bad. I don't think I died at all. That area, I did get really hurt though. It's not. It is kind of hard. What I found really hard, I don't know why. It's when after you kill almost all of them, you have to make your way to the back of the room, and Ashley has to get up onto this like balcony thing, and she has to go run around. She has to do this thing, like I think it's a handle thing that she has to like crank or whatever. And while she's doing that, a bunch of guys come out and try to attack her, and you have to shoot them. That part I found kind of hard, and I don't know why exactly. I kind of struggled with that, so yeah, I don't know what it was, but anyway, after you're done killing all these guys, and you get this bridge thing down, you go over it, and I mean, you can collect a bunch of stuff that's in there because the room has a bunch of stuff. After you make it out to this like courtyard area, like outside courtyard area. It's really beautiful. This scene, actually, so okay. So when I was watching the live stream of um Nick, the guy who voice acted for Leon, play through this, the actress Genevieve, who voice act and motion capture for Ashley. So what I guess I didn't realize is that while she's saying the certain line, I'm gonna tell you in a minute, she was supposed to say it like Ramon Salazar. So she's like studied the actor for like a day or whatever to like get his to like learn to like how he talks and stuff like that. To like basically talk exactly like him. And it's supposed to be him. It's supposed to be Salazar talking through Ashley. So yeah, which I think is super cool. But yeah, so that happened. She stabs. She takes. Well, let me real quick tell you the line. So basically, uh, they get to this courtyard. Ashley says like, "Hush, child," and she like leans over and she grabs Leon's knife. She goes to stab him. He grabs the knife with his hand, cuts him, and then she pulls away and is like about to cut herself. And she snaps out of it, and then this gate thing like comes down, or I think the gate thing comes down and then she snaps out of it. But yeah, and then basically she runs away because she's like, "Oh my god, I just hurt Leon, I just hurt myself." Like, yeah. So, and basically what's happening there is when you get infected, we find out later is that when you get infected, as the infection keeps going and it keeps progressing, basically Salazar is gaining the ability to take over your mind. So like you're still in your mind and you can't do anything. So kind of like imagine if you are in this body of a cage. Like you're in your body and it's kind of like a cage and someone is controlling your actions and like speaking for you kind of thing, but you can't do anything, you know? That's kind of like how it's like. So yeah. So then we need to go and try to find Ashley. And then it's chapter 8. So, well, after that whole thing, it's chapter 8. So. In chapter 8, we go through the little courtyard thing, and we find a wine cellar, which we find this like really creepy like display thing of these dead bodies. At first, I didn't know they were dead bodies. I thought they were actually people that were gonna attack me. So I was being kind of careful. And then, as I was like going through this wine cellar, I was like, "Oh, they're dead." And you go up to Leo can go up to it and be like, "What the fuck is this?" You know. Anyway, but basically, it's just a couple dead bodies, and they're like around a religious thing. So it's like a it looks kind of like a cross. Well, it's like a guy sitting on like a left platform with a bunch of circles. So yeah, it's a weird thing. Anyway, basically, you go through the wine cellar. You go through the wine cellar, and there's this like back room area where you have to go into to get a lamp for one of the puzzles in a room you have to go into. And that one was kind of hard. I died I think once on YouTube, but it was kind of hard. There's a lot of people, and it's kind of like a tight, small space. I think that's what what's really hard about it. So yeah. But anyway, after you get the candle thing, put it on a statue. You go through that door, and you walk into this room, and this is where you meet Ada for the first like time. You know, like throughout the whole game. Like she's been in the game. It's just Leon hasn't stopped. Yeah. So he walks in. He thought he heard someone, and all of a sudden, as he's walking, he hears something. He turns around. There's Ada. They do this like knife fight, and then oh yeah, also Ada like kicks his gun or whatever, knocks his gun out of his hand. And that's why they do the knife fight. But anyway, and then Leon holds the knife to his throat or her throat, and he says like, remember to use knives again. They're best for close encounter or something like that. And then she's like very smooth, or I think she might say that first. Yeah. And then they start talking. Ada tells Leon to leave the girl. And he's like, yeah, you know I'm not doing that. And she's like, oh, yeah. Because, I mean, she knows Leon is a really nice guy. He cares and he wants to save people. He doesn't want more tragedies to happen. Well, you get a bunch of Ada leaves, you know, and you can get a bunch of different treasures and this wall puzzle thing. I guess people are having a hard time with it. I actually found it really easy. The wall puzzle thing, I thought that was really easy, which is interesting because some of the puzzles in this game, certain ones that people found hard, I actually found pretty easy. So, just, you know, interesting. And some that people found really easy, I found kind of hard. So, it's interesting to see, like, what the fan base is having trouble with and what other people haven't, you know? But, anyway, basically, then, you know, you go down a corridor, kill some more people, you know. And then you get to this, like, rooftop area. And that I thought was pretty good. It wasn't that bad. It was pretty easy, honestly. It's just kind of like shooting and yeah. After you get through, then you have this like room where you have these night and day symbols, and you have this crank where you have to crank it. So some doors have a sun above it, and when the crank is on the sun thing, the doors open. But when the crank on the moon, it's closed, of course. So yeah, but that stuff was pretty easy. It's funny, while I was doing this, Leon was like telling me, because he thought I was struggling with it. He's like, oh, looks like it's locked or something like that. And I'm like, I'm not struggling with the puzzle, Leon. I'm trying to find the trophy. Or not trophy, the treasure. Because there's a treasure in the room, and I was trying to find it. I found it, but, Leon was like, oh, this girl's struggling. I'm like, bitch. So yeah, so I thought it was funny. But yeah, it was pretty easy, so. You make way through the castle walls. And then you have, once you get up to the top of like the castle walls, you have to kill this guy. He's like a rock thing? I don't know. He's like an ogre thing. I don't know, he looks so weird. Anyway, but yeah, you have to defeat him, and after you do, you have to defeat a couple more people, and then you have to make your way to a different side of the castle wall. And use, like before, you have this cannon that you have to use to shoot a bunch of people and shoot this door. So, once after you do that, you can make your way down and go to the Great Hall. So, and that's basically the end of the chapter. That chapter was pretty fun. It was pretty like standard, like reasonable stuff. Chapter 9, the Great Hall. Chapter 9 was pretty fun. I did not like the fucking wolves. Ugh. You know Resident Evil, you know they like dogs. And they love having dogs be all weird and yeah. I can't tell you how many times I got fucking hurt from these stupid dogs. I don't think I died once, but because I had like healing stuff on me. But man, these fucking dogs, they were, and I had to go back way through that area because it's like a muzzle, it's a maze garden area. So the maze, I did not like. I had a hard time with it. I hate mazes, honestly. So. Because I am the worst at direction. I always just spoil my map. Throughout this whole game, I was using my map so much and pulling it up so often. But, yeah, there's this part where, after you get actually back, you have to go back through it. So you can, use her in one part of the maze, so. But, after you get done with the maze, then you go into the actual, like, Great Hall. Which, oh, it's so beautiful, and this is where the roller coaster comes in. I know I told you this earlier about how this Salazar, he has this roller coaster, and it's so funny. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So, when you get to this Great Hall, you have the statue that you have to do. It's like a puzzle. You have to get a bunch of heads on the statue. Which I found, so I think I said it earlier in this video, I found the puzzle where you had to like sit down and stuff like that. That puzzle actually was kind of hard. I don't know what I was thinking. It was kind of hard for me for some reason, so I had a little bit hard time with it. But after you get all of the heads, oh wait, actually, let's that. So. Salazar has a roller coaster. I think I told you about it. In the original, he makes like sharp noises, like, yeah. Well, this time he doesn't. Basically, Asher's like, so, like, do you get motion sickness? And I'm like, well, you'll find out. And then, the original he was throwing up, but, you know, the remake he does, so, yeah. But, I really like this part area. The Great Hall area. I really liked it. There's one part where you have to go to this room and you have to battle a bunch of people. That shit was hard. You have basically you're walking on this little area and it goes down and then you have to battle a bunch of people. And I found it so fucking hard. And after you battle a bunch of people, you have to go up and make this little area go back up. It's kind of like I say it's kind of like a bridge, but it's like not a bridge. It's like a bridge inside, like the floor. The floor just like goes up like a bridge. I don't know. It's weird. His whole castle is so fucking weird. Anyway, so basically, there's a couple of trophies. Treasures you can get, but after you get all of the heads and stuff like that, basically there's these tall bar things that go down, and Ashley has to go up and try to get it back. Well, Ashley goes through a door, so these bars go down, a bunch of people go out, Ashley goes through this door, and then it's the end of the chapter. Well, oh wait, no. Oh wait, no, it's not. Yeah, no, never mind. Sorry, it's not in the chapter actually. Then you play as Ashley, which, ooh, the playing as Ashley, I found that so hard, but so much fun. It was, I don't know what I was expecting. So Ashley is, you know, because she's a young girl, she's kind of weak, and all she has is this little lantern that's blue to like protect herself. And basically what happens is when these knights come after her, she can hold up her lantern and then the knights free. Kind of like Weeping Angel from Doctor Who. Anyway, no, Ashley is so much fun to play as. It's hard, but it's fun. And the whole time when the things keep coming close to her, she screams, and you really feel It's really scary, and you really feel her pain, her like how scared she is. You know, you feel it, and the whole time, it was so much fun. I don't know how to like, express more how much fun it was, but it was so much fun. It was so hard. There's some trophies you can get in there, and after Ashley saves Leon, you can go back as Leon, and there's some pretty good things you can get, which I recommend going back as Leon because you can get a gun, and I think there's a couple other uh uh treasures you can get. So you can also get some as Ashley as well too. And there's a couple puzzles you have to do. The clock one I kind of struggled with, but the light one was pretty easy for me. So the clock one I kind of struggled with is because I don't really know what I don't know how to read Roman time. So Roman time, Roman. Anyway, I don't know how to read that, and it was in the clock. Anyway, end of chapter. Ashley saves Leon. But after she saves Leon, she gets taken. And one thing that's cool though is all the treasures that Ashley gets, she drops them, so you can pick them up when you become Leon again, and you can go through the oh my god, library. You can go through the library and all the areas Ashley went through and get some treasures. Also, when you go down to one of the rooms, there's this knight you have to defeat, and fuck, the guy was hard. I was shooting this guy, with my pistol, and it was literally doing nothing on easy mode. I was like, this guy is tough. Yeah. So there's this guy, which is pretty tough. But after you beat him, you get some treasure. You go through the library to get treasure. And then afterwards, you have to make your way to the ballroom. The ballroom? Fucking hate the ballroom so much. Like, it's good, but I hate it. Because it's so hard. You have these huge ass bugs that are swarming around the ballroom. And they go after you, and it is so fucking hard. It's fun, but hard. And I think the ballroom is one of my least favorites, just because I don't. The big bugs freak me out. You really do. They freak me out so much, and I don't know exactly why. Like they're like giant, they're giant insects, and they don't look like made this like giant ones, but they're not like green, brownish color. It's so weird. Anyway, after we get out of the ballroom, you go back to this little courtyard area. It's kind of a small courtyard, and it's just tall to make the ladder fall down. Once you do that, you have this giant room, and you have a bunch of enemies to fight, and you also have more of those blind. I don't know if it's pigs. I think we call them pigs. Giant little people pigs that are blind. You have two of those. They're hard. They hit hard. But after you defeat them, basically, you go into this ballroom area, and you go to the third room, and you see actually doing this weird ritual thing that could force you. Well, Salazar was like, and he's not, Salazar says really happened. He gets thrown on this hit. Well, don't worry, he doesn't die. He goes down to his he touches himself. He like slowly gets where there's just like fish things. I know, it sounds so fucking weird. I hated it so much. I hated it. Okay, I think this part I hated. One of the parts I hated. Which is good. Well, I don't think it was, but it was go down to the exploration area and trophies you can get, and then you to one of the hardest bosses, in my opinion, and a lot of opinions, where you have to defeat this like skeleton thing. It is so fucking weird in this abandoned uh the what is it? It's like it's a laboratory, but it's like a weird abandoned laboratory. And so basically the whole time is you have to you focus on this elevator to get it like running. You have to wait for it to come. So while you're waiting for it to come, you can get there's a treasure you can get, and there's also well to make the elevator go, you have to go and restore the power. You go restore the power, then while that's going, you have to kind of wait, and while that's kind of waiting, the skeleton guy comes up, and before you even like restore the power, skeleton guy, he like has these like arms things come out of the floor, and like, yeah, it's so fucking weird. But he is such a hard guy to defeat. Also, so I didn't actually kill him. You don't have to kill him. He's awesome. If you do kill him, though, you get a really, really good trophy, though. So this playthrough I'm doing right now, Resident Evil, I'm gonna actually try to kill him. But, also, another thing is that there's on the wall, there's these buttons, and they release these liquid shower things, have venom or whatever in it, and that does some damage to him too. It like freezes him and stuff like that for a little bit. So yeah, people would do that, and this guy's so fucking creepy and so hard, man. I struggled with this area, and I didn't even like kill him. Once the elevator like beeped, I ran towards the elevator. I was like, bitch, I'm not doing it. Anyway, though, one of the coolest things once you get to the elevator, is Leon has this vision where it's Salazar and he's talking. And I forgot to mention this, but he already had a vision before where Salazar was talking to him. But this time, Salazar's not talking to him. Salazar is talking to Krauser. And how we know is, Krauser looks down, and he looks down at a knife, and you can see Krauser's face in the knife. It's so fucking cool. Oh, I love it. Anyway, next chapter, chapter 11. This is the mines. This is my favorite chapter, honestly. I think you go to the mines and then the village, because like the village is really fun, but the mines is super fun. So you're back with oh my god, what's his name? Luis. You're back with Luis. Luis. Fuck. Sorry guys, I can't talk today. You're back with Luis. Luis? Luis. Anyway, you're back with him. And, basically he gives you a little, thing. I think I told you guys. He has these little injection things that will fight off the virus. It will basically keep the symptoms at bay, so it won't. You'll still have it, but you'll have like the symptoms will like kill themselves off a little bit, and then it won't like completely go away. You'll still have it. You need like the actual cure, but it'll give you some time before you actually get the cure. So anyway, I think Leon saves one for Ashley. I know he takes one for Ashley. I don't remember if he takes one of his own, but I know Ashley had been infected longer than Lance. I'm pretty sure he did take one, so. And Ashley does take one. Anyway, you go down to these mines, and first off, you have this like mine quarry thing where you have a bunch of villagers that you have to like kill. Super fun. And you have a chainsaw guy, and yeah. Anyway, basically you do all this thing to get some TNT. You get some TNT, you put it on this rock, you blow up the rock, and then you get to this mine. Sorry, you get to this mine area. Once you get to the mine area, you go into the the mine cart, and you have to go through these mine carts. Or actually no, I forgot. So after you kill off these villagers, there's this thing that grabs you. This like giant like creature that grabs you, and you grab onto Owie, and you pull him with you to this battle. Anyway, well, there's these two giant creatures, these ogres creatures. Anyway, that they have to fight. After you get one of them down, he'll go and grab some TNT, and then he'll get onto the other one, and then he'll strap it on there, and then you have to shoot it, and once he shoots it, it should go onto this little platform, and then you have to just pull down this lever, and then he goes into this like fire area. In the original Resident Evil, they had this lava room, so I think they put this in to kind of like be like, hey look, it's kind of like the lava room, but not really, so yeah. Anyway, but it was fun. It wasn't bad. It's an easy fight. So I didn't think it was that hard. But anyway, then you go to the mines where you have to be in a mine cart, and I died the first time. Or I did 2 times because I didn't realize that there's like this little health bar on the minecart, and if you destroy the minecart, you pretty much die. And the first time, the minecart actually went off the track and went into like a huge rock, and I killed them. And I was like, oops. But it is so fun with the minecart. You basically have to keep shooting you have to shoot boards, you have to shoot signs, you have to shoot villagers, all this kind of stuff. And the whole time, Elise is like talking to you and like chit-chatting, and it's just like good cop, bad cop thing. And you can tell Leon's still kind of like not really talking, but like he's starting to open up, and he's starting to trust this guy and actually like this guy. Which, and you find out about it a little bit later, but basically there's 2 sections of minecarts. There's the first section, and then there's another section. After both of the sections of the minecart, sorry, you get to this like huge like room thing. Well, not a room, but it's like a huge hive. Well, it is a huge hive, but anyway, it's a huge hive with more bugs. Ugh, disgusting, I know. So you get into this hive, and in this hive you have a bunch of the bugs, and you have to shoot. You also have a request you can do where you can shoot their like nest thing. Yeah, and after you do that, get out of the hive, you go into this elevator, and this is where you and I feel like I'm saying it so wrong. Sorry guys, I'm saying it so wrong. My throat's been hurting really bad. It's been hurting with videos, and look. Oh, anyway. You and him have a talk, and he's like, yeah, I just want to be a better guy. Like, I've really messed up. I've done some awful things in life. And I was like, well, you have a lot to do, to make up for all the shit you've done here, basically. After you get out of the elevator, this is the really sad part. It is really fucking sad. I cried, because I totally forgot about this. So, in the original, Elise is already dead. Elise is already no longer in the story. This is where Elise dies. Basically, Elise and you are walking, and he has his back turned, and he's like, let's go to Ashley! And he's holding the thing, and all of a sudden, or he says something, he says something, and he gets stabbed. And Leon's like, what? And he's like, and he he sees that he's been stabbed, and then he sees Krauser. Krauser's the one who stabbed him, and then they get into a knife fight. Well, um, after their knife fight, Louis stands up and shoots him, and then Krauser runs away. And that is end of chapter 11. And now it's chapter 12. So, we have his death, Louis' death, and he tells Leon, he's like, I pretty shitty thing. I want, you know, to do better or whatever. Oh, actually, I think it was chapter 11 where he says, like, I've done some pretty shitty thing in my life. I want to be better, like that. And then chapter 12, Leon leaves to go get Ashley, you know. And, we make it to the castle and back into the throne room. And then, after that, you keep going, you find Ashley, in this little room, and you sit down with her, and she's like, yeah, I'm so sorry, you know, or, you already had that, yeah, never mind, you already had that talk before. Yeah, you find Ashley, I remember you get Ashley back, and then, you go to, you have to go to this clock tower, and, as you're going, you have to make your way yourself up, because, I remember Ashley gets taken again. Anyway, but yeah, Ashley gets taken again, so you have to go and get her, and then, you have to kill a bunch of guys. There is, like, this giant, like, ball thing that, rolls down, and you have to make sure he doesn't hit you. And, after you get to the top, you kill all the guys. So yeah, you have to go up this elevator. Once you go up this lift, you make it to the top of the clock tower. You see Ashley being dragged away, and then you have to go over there. You start going, and you make it into, you go into the room, and then you have the boss fight of Salazar. Fuck, that thing feels so fucking weird when you've been a, like, boss form. It's so fucking freaky. Anyway, you have his boss form, you kill him, and then afterwards, a door goes down, and you go out, and there's a boat that you get on with Ada, and then they basically talk about everything. Leon's like, are you still using me? And she's like, no, I'm not. So, well, that's in chapter 11. Chapter 11, yeah, chapter end, go into the rope fight. Chapter end, chapter 11, you have this talk with Ada. She's like, yeah, no, like, what do you think? And then she gets off, and then you make it to this island. This island, you have a bunch of people to kill, and you have a bunch of, there's a bunch of traps there you have to do. You make it all the way through this island, which, this part, I found kind of hard. I think I did it a couple times, but, you know, I got hurt more than anything else, so. Anyway, get some trophies, and you kill one guy, and then, you go through, this other area, into a, like, little building. It's like a, lab or whatever, and you see, Ashley there, but, to get to where Ashley is, you need this, like, key card. It's, like, level 3, so you have to go around to this, like, bit of lab to, like, upgrade the key card, kill a bunch of guys. There's this other enemy that's so fucking freaky too, where this enemy, basically, he's, like, tall, and after you shoot him after a while, he, goes on his stomach, and he rolls down, like, a freaking, oh my god, what is it? like a worm, and then he attacks you, and then gets back up, and he heals himself. It's so fucking weird. Anyway, you upgrade your keycard, you eventually get a level 3 keycard, and then with Ashley, you give her the something from the week where basically it's not like a cure, but it like helps every time, because I'm pretty sure if I get a point really bad. So then you and Ashley make your way out of this little laboratory. Or, well, you've heard the thing, and then chapter ends. Chapter 14, Cargo Depot. This one, I actually, it wasn't my favorite, but I really liked it. Really did. So, you make it out of this area with Ashley. And then, so you go into this other little, like, factory. And that was kind of hard. I got Ashley kidnapped twice, I think, actually. So, yeah, basically what happens is if some guy picks up Ashley, if someone with the village pick up Ashley and take our way through a door, yeah. Anyway, give us a certain amount of time, please, to Ashley, to shoot them, not Ashley. And then they'll drop Ashley. Anyway, you make your way through this laboratory with Ashley, and then you have to do another little boss fight of some enemies with a phrase, with fucking love. There's a part where and it's like, is this what the kids learn now these days in school? It's just like, yeah, it's called driver's ed. Have you ever heard about it? And it's just so funny. It's so cute. I love how their friendship is growing throughout this game. Love it. But anyway, you defeat some of the people. Ashley uses his train to knock a hole into this wall. You go through the hole. You go through the hole, and then you have to go into this room. And when you go to this little like room, Salazar comes out and he does some more mind tricks on Ashley, where basically, because of how infected Ashley is, and he can also do the same thing on Leon, but his is not as powerful as Leon because Leon hasn't been infected as long as Ashley. So basically, he controls Ashley. He also controls Leon too, where Leon can't move at all, but he controls Ashley to come forward and then grab Leon's gun to shoot him. But instead of because Ashley has so much willpower, whatever it is, she doesn't shoot Leon. She ends up shooting these like people with like guns over their faces or whatever, and then shooting two of them right next to Leon. They're like behind him instead of him. And then she's supposed to try to shoot Leon. Salazar making her kill, and there's no more bullets in the gun. So she dropped the gun, and then Salazar makes her come with him. So now Leon's all in zoning it, and you have to go and get Ashley back. Well, you go through this like building thing, and you get to this little campsite area where you have to kill some more guys, and then you get to this one tent thing, and in this tent thing it talks all about this one game. So after Resident Evil 4 original came out, with probably something like that. That was his probably first entry in the Resident Evil franchise. well, people didn't know who he was. So, Capcom made a game all about Krauser and Leon after Resident Evil 2, but before Resident Evil 4, of them going on a mission together. And that, in this tent, there's a document all about it. You know, talking about it through Krauser. But you don't know, it's like basically Krauser acting like he's not himself talking. It's so weird. It's Krauser talking like he's not himself about something in secret, you know? And then there's a picture of Leon comes up. And it's so mean of the picture of Leon, because it's like Krauser keeping a tiny picture of Leon in his wallet, like, how funny. Anyway, then there's also a tape of Krauser being like, I'm coming for you, Leon, be prepared. Then you get to this, like, area where it's like broken stuff. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like, area where you have to space it. Because your friend's killing you, you have to try to get away. Then you have to get through this other area where Carlos sets it up as a trap and just try to hurt him as much as you can. Then you have the final, like, you and Krauser battle, where, so for this Krauser, Krauser gets hurt, and he turns into his ultimate club, where his hand, turns into this, like, weapon thing, and basically, all the way throughout, he's chasing after you. You're this like tomb thing. There's a bunch of traps laying around. You have to try not to get hurt by any of the traps. You just hit him. Then you go into a circle thing where if you're like suddenly go down, or attacking him. Boss fight is pretty. It's pretty hard. I mean, I kind of struggled with it a little bit, but some other people said it's a little more easier for them. So I didn't die, but anyway, towards the edge, you heal him, and he's laying there, and then they have this really cool callback scene where Leon grabs the knife, and he looks at it just like how Krauser had looked at the knife too when he was in Leon's vision. And he looks at him, and you can see Leon in the knife, like how you can see the Krauser. And then Leon stabs Krauser, and that's it. I love the achievement for it. Used to be a gun guy, something like that. Love it. Love the name. I love all the things for those achievements. They're so good. Anyway, then it's the next chapter. Chapter 15 to come in, which chapter 15 is my favorite. I say chapter 15 is my favorite, but mine is also my favorite too. It's one of my favorites, honestly. So, you go into another area where it's a bunch of guys you have to defeat, and all of a sudden, plane goes over you and starts shooting at you. And at first I was like, oh my god, this is Ada. I don't know why the fuck I was this was Ada. It's not Ada doing this. It is Hannigan. So basically Hannigan hires this guy named Mike who is driving this airplane and shooting, and it is so nice to be shooting all these guys and him also backing you up. It is so nice. Well, unfortunately, we can never have anything nice around here. Mike gets taken up by Salazar, and, you know, there's a classic line where Leon goes, "No, Mike!" I love it. Anyway. And then, after he gets taken down by Salazar, you have to go through this area where it's like a bunch of bodies and bags. It's so weird. And some of those creepy people or creepy enemies from the laboratory shop here. So creepy. Anyway, there's some more trophies to get and stuff like that. You make your way through this area, and then there is another shooting range too. There's another shooting range to go to when you see this thing. The merchant statue. When you see the merchant, there's another shooting range. After you, so then you go through some doors. You go to this another little area with fucking bugs. Some more bugs. I don't like the bugs. The bugs suck. You go through those bugs. I'm just petty because I got hurt so bad with the bugs. Anyway, you go through the bugs. And then you go through another little like laboratory. It's more like big people. Yeah, and villagers. Well, then you get into this like weird like I don't know what to call it, like a tube. Anyway, you go to it and there's this table and Ashley's laying there and Salazar's there too, and Ada shows up and she starts killing shooting Salazar, and then you run over to Ashley, you pick her up, and then you like leave. This is the freaky part. I thought this was so cool, and so freaky. So at this point, Leon has been affected for quite a while with this virus. It's affecting him really bad at this point. He's starting to see things. He's holding Ashley and it's pretty weak, and there's veins all over his arm. Also, one thing I didn't notice, but as you play the game, you see more veins popping out on his arms. You know, he's looking weird. Anyway, he goes to this little room. There's a map, and then he starts walking. We're going to Louis' spot. So he starts walking, and all we can see is like these people, these hidden figures. They're all black. There's this hidden figure. It looks like he's underwater a little bit, and he's like walking, and you can't really see what's going on. And then you reach the door, and you're trying to get to the lab. You put Ashley down on this bed thing, and you basically hear her. And then you pass out, and then you wake up, and she cures you too. So you're both cured. And then it's on your way to escape. So, chapter 16. You walk out of the lab, and you go through another laboratory, I don't know what to call it, factory? Yeah, you go through another factory. And then you go back through where Ashley was laying on the table, and you get some trophies there, and then you go up to this one area where the merchant is, and there is you can walk out and you see that Ada was kidnapped. So Leon runs over, he shoots the rope that Ada is like tied to. Ada follows, and then you and Ada start shooting at Salazar, who's like turned into this like weird looking like boss evil thing. I don't know, he looks like a fucking monster. He looks so fucking weird. Anyway, you go into the boss fight, which the boss fight was actually pretty fucking hard because at first you just shoot him, and then halfway through you have bugs. It is hard. Anyway, and he hits hard. So after you do the fight, then Ada leaves. She asks you if you want to come with her. You said no. Um, then you and Ashley um start leaving. You guys get on a boat, and then there's this whole thing where you have to go. Yeah, it's kind of like the minecart, where you have to go through like a little bit of obstacles, but your boat doesn't get hurt as much. I died like once because the boat actually like blowing up. Anyway, well, if you don't get yourself killed and you go through the boat, then it goes to live cutscene where Leon and Asher are on the boat, and Asher's like, "Well, mission accomplished," and he's like, "Mission accomplished is not until you're home safe or whatever," and yeah, and then there's that the game. So, I feel like I've been talking so long. I was gonna put my review of and talk about different ways, but fuck, I'm just gonna do it in a different video, honestly. It's so fucking long. Anyway, just to wrap it up, I freaking love Resident Evil 4 remake. It was so much fun. I'll play it so much more. And yeah, there were some hard parts to me that I didn't really like, but honestly, I pretty much like almost everything. There were just some sections where I was like, oh, it's okay. It's not my favorite, but it's good. So, you should go out and play Resident Evil 4 remake if you can. It's so much fun. Tell me what you guys think of the game. What's your opinions down below? I'd love to hear it. And I'll see you. Hopefully, it's not sick by this time. Bye, guys. But yeah, I love her. Anyway, but yeah, basically you can go through the castle, do more puzzles, stuff like that.